Hey guys, welcome back to another Slightly Redneck video. Today we're going to take a look at the garden. I had some people request that, wanted to know how the garden was doing on my last live broadcast and see how things were growing. And it's early morning, it hasn't gotten hot yet, so this is the time that I usually come out and try to harvest, do my, anything that needs harvest, get it done, because it gets hot in the middle of the day and it doesn't cool off until late evening, so it's easier to do it usually first thing in the morning if I can. So that's what I'm going to be doing this morning. If you don't know already, I actually took a year off of gardening last year. I just let the garden set. We had a whole bunch of, just a bunch of kind of little problems that we had been running into. Squash bugs was one of them. We had a terrible problem with squash bugs and vine borers. They were just decimating our squash. We didn't get any harvest off of them for really the past couple of years. Last year in particular, or not, the last year we gardened, I should say. So the year before last, we had a lot of problems with blight on the tomatoes, and the tomatoes were really struggling and they weren't doing well. Everything was just kind of mediocre. Nothing really did great. So we took last year off completely. And was it worth it? That's what we're going to talk about. I didn't really do anything. I just let the garden sit, and then coming into this year, I went ahead and threw some compost on the beds like I normally do and planted into it. And let's see, is it doing any better? I honestly, this year we've had so much rain. I mean, I haven't had to water the garden one time. Even starting seeds, I haven't had to water. Everything is just, it's just all the rain that we've had has kept it going. And I don't have any blight issues, really. I've got some minor issues. Let me turn the camera around. We'll take a look and we'll see. I don't know how well this is going to show up. I don't know if I can get back far enough to show everything. These are my cucumbers right here growing, and they're doing fantastic. I'm probably going to have to take the camera off the tripod. But cucumbers are doing fantastic. There's probably, there's too much going on here. I really need to prune some of it back. But right now I see a cucumber right there, all covered in a spider web. Right there. Got that one before it got too big. So give me a second, I'm gonna go through this and see what I can find. I grow my my cucumbers up. We got backlit, don't we? Come on, camera, adjust. There we go. I grow my cucumbers up these tomato cages, and I didn't do a real good job of making sure they all got up on there. Most of them are on there, but there's some of them still down on the ground too. Let me turn the camera around the other direction. Maybe you'll be able to see it just a little bit better. Let's see, how's that? How's that? I think you can see it. We got tomatoes over here. We'll take a look at those here in just a second. Let me go through here and see if what I can find. The cucumbers are just starting to produce. We're just starting to get cucumbers off of them. We've gotten a handful so far. And, oh, there's one. These are just about my favorite size for pickling. I love tiny little cucumbers like that. They stay crunchy. They're so good. Let's see, what else can I find? Oh, yeah, there's another little one. Oh, that one got too big. That's really too big. We'll eat that one fresh. But there's another, that's a decent size. A couple of smaller ones will be ready probably tomorrow or the next day. Always tricky to find them all. They hide in here. Let me go ahead and get these cucumbers harvested, then I'll come back and we'll take a look at the rest. Got a pretty decent bucket full of cucumbers. A couple on the bigger side. Most of them just about right. One little weird one. You always get a weird one like that. But enough for maybe 2 jars of pickles. We'll see. All right, what else is going on here? Let's take the camera off the tripod. We'll just show you how the garden's doing, because I don't think I can do it with me in the frame. It's kind of cramped in here. So let me take the camera off the tripod. We'll take a look and see how things are going. All right, see if I can scoot back far enough. Tomatoes right here. I've got 2 beefsteak tomatoes right here, and they're going crazy. We have got lots and lots here. Let me get down here where you can see. Lots of tomatoes coming on. Nothing ripe yet. A couple getting real close. Whoops, sorry. Probably took the camera all crazy. A couple getting real close. But wait. Maybe I have 3 beefsteaks here. This may be a beefsteak as well. I think I got 3 beefsteaks. I don't remember what variety I'm growing right now. Let me back up here so you can see. These are a hybrid. I did not start these from seeds. I went ahead and just bought plants. But you can see there's no real issues with blight. I haven't trimmed these. I've got just some minor, you know, that's not really blight. This is just dead. I need to trim back. We'll just do that right now. But actually I'll do it when I get off camera. So there's a couple of things I need to take off. But for the most part, tomatoes are doing great considering how much rain we've gotten. I would expect a lot more blight. You can see I've got 1 tomato branch sticking way out over here. I didn't do a good job of keeping them all in the cage and they went crazy. And then down towards the end, let's see. Down towards the end, I've got my Roma tomatoes. I've never grown Romas before. I usually grow Amish paste, but this year I bought plants instead of starting them from seeds. So we're growing in hybrids. And I guess Romas are not a hybrid, are they? Well, maybe they are. I can't remember now, honestly. But they're a determinate tomato. I've got lots of paste tomatoes growing. What surprises me about these is they don't get very, the bush doesn't get very tall. So they're only like maybe 3 feet, and a couple of them even a lot shorter, like right here. But loads of tomatoes on them. So we'll have plenty of tomatoes to can up. And then down here at the end, we've got peppers, which I'm going to need to do some harvesting on. We've got some cayennes here, jalapenos over there. They've got jalapenos, quite a bit of jalapenos on them. I believe that tall one over there is a poblano, if I remember right, I think. I've got some weeds going back here I need to clear up. Right here, all this stuff needs to be pulled and laid down some landscape fabric. Sorry if the camera went all crazy. That's a habanero, I believe. And then a couple poblanos over there that are just getting ready to start fruiting out. A couple of squash plants here, which is going to probably take over that pepper if I'm not careful. But the squash plants are doing fine. Oh my goodness. The zucchini got past me. Look at this thing. Hang on. That's zucchini bread size. Look at that. That's a monster. If you ever grow zucchini and squash, you know it's like one day it's not there, the next day it's huge. Got green beans over here, and there's green beans on them now. Just started putting them on. We'll get our first harvest out of those this morning probably. This is okra. I got a little while before it's going to start producing. It's got some flowers and things on it, but it's not real tall yet, so it's going to take probably a little while for that to produce. And then right there, monster squash plants. I have not seen a single squash bug or vine borer on my plants yet. These squash plants are doing, I mean, they're huge. They're doing great. So even if the squash bugs get them right now, I've got a lot of zucchini and a lot of summer squash that we've been able to harvest so far, and a whole lot more coming on. And I haven't seen a single squash bug or vine borer. Nothing yet. I'm sure it's coming. The vine borers usually sneak in on me late in the season, and by that time I've had enough squash and I don't really care that much. But the last couple of years, like I said, it was so bad. There's some zucchini there. That's probably, yucky flower. It was all wet. That's probably a good size. Maybe a little bit bigger, but if I don't get it now, I will probably miss it. That one I think I'll let go a day. See how it does. Ugh. All right, I need to do some harvesting real quick. Let me quit shaking the camera around so much. Get the camera back on the tripod. I'll be back with you in just a minute. All right. I got quite a few green beans growing on here. And this is my first harvest of green beans, actually. They will be coming on strong though. I will have plenty of them coming up here in the next week, probably, at the least. So I'm going to get a pretty decent harvest off these, probably. So while I'm doing this, if I can talk and do this at the same time, first of all, this little thing right here that I'm sitting on, I actually bought this for my wife. This is pretty nice. Gives you something to sit on and you can roll it. So it actually works out pretty well. So I'm stealing it from her this morning. I shouldn't say steal, borrowing it from her this morning and using it myself, but it's actually hers. I bought it for her a year or two ago to do a lot of her flower gardening up front. But it is pretty handy for things like this where I got to go down a whole row and pick green beans. But what else was I going to say? Oh, so did taking a year off, did it help the garden? Did it hurt the garden? It didn't hurt the garden, that's for sure. I personally believe it did help the garden. Like I said, no blight issues really with tomatoes. The squash bugs are gone for now. I mean, they'll come back, but for now they're gone. And everything's doing great. Now, part of that may be because we had so much rain, but honestly, I think the fact that we had so much rain and we don't have blight issues is a good point to make. I mean, I haven't pruned the tomatoes back or anything, and we haven't had any blight issues. Part of that's because they're hybrids. They're a little bit more blight resistant too, but I think part of that is because we did take a year off and we let all that stuff kind of die out in the soil. And you know, in the Bible, in, let's see, is it Leviticus 25th or 23rd chapter? I can't remember. And also I believe in Ecclesiastes, maybe 23rd chapter, somewhere right around in there. In the Bible, God gives commands to the Israelites to take every 7th year off. And there's many other things in there too, but one of them is every 7th year off of plowing your fields, gardening. Not, I mean, at the time it wasn't gardening necessarily, but basically it's the same thing. Give your land a rest every 7th year, basically a Sabbath for your land. So there may be, you know, some of that may have just been ceremonial law to make sure that they are set apart, but there may be other reasons for that too. And maybe that's one of it. Give it a chance to rest, and then it produces better for you the next year. So whether I'll keep that up, I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll just take every 7th year off and see if that continues to do well, because, you know, why not? I mean, God makes sense that the creator of everything knows what's going to make things grow the best and what's going to make things work the best. If that's it, if that is something that's going to help, then why not do it? So anyhow, you don't need to watch me harvest a whole bunch of green beans here. I got a whole row to go down. It's going to take me a few minutes. So let me get this done, and then I'll come back and chat with you for just a minute or two more before we close this video out. It's actually Sunday morning, day after the 4th of July. It's the 5th. So happy 4th of July. And to all you veterans out there, thank you for your service that makes this possible for us. 250 years of American freedom. And I think that is something to celebrate, something to be very proud of. But anyway, let me get these done. I got to get this all done and then go get ready for church, because, like I said, it's early morning and we got church today. So I'll be back with you in just a few. Well, it'll be pretty much instantaneously for you, but it'll be a few minutes for me. All right, well, I got a pretty decent, about a half a bucket full of green beans and quite a few jalapenos there. Probably enough for maybe 1-2 jars worth of pickled jalapenos. So looks like I'll be breaking out the canner this afternoon and pickling up some cucumbers and jalapenos. So I gotta say, this is probably the easiest garden I've ever done. I mean, like I said, I laid some compost down. That was a little bit of work going and getting a truckload of compost coming back and laying it down on the beds, laying the landscape fabric out. I planted everything, and that's really all I've done. We've had enough rain to sustain the garden, so that's nice. I don't have to water. I'm probably gonna have to start now because the rain's starting to stop, but so far I haven't had to start the water, or I hadn't had to water anything. I basically just planted everything and walked away and came back and harvested. I mean, it was the easiest garden I've ever done. And we're not running into any of those issues that we've had over the last couple of years with squash bugs, with vine borers, with blight on the tomatoes. I do need to take off. There's a couple of dead or dying stems on this tomato plant here, so I need to take that off. There's one. There's another one right there. Let me do that real quick. I'm probably completely off camera, aren't I? You can just see the top of my head. So when these stems start turning black, I just go ahead and just take them off. That's not going to hurt the tomato at all. In fact, it probably needs to be pruned up just a little bit. But honestly, it's not bad. And I think that's about it. So I got a handful of stems off there that had some dead, dying leaves on there. Maybe some blight issues with that, but I got them off there, so that should be fine. And that's it. The rest of them look great. Let me get rid of these real quick. Out there, we'll mow them over when I mow. So yeah, taking that year off didn't hurt at all. It probably helped. And again, I don't know if, well, there's one more here I need to take off. Hang on. There we go. The rest of that looks pretty good. That may be some early blight issues, but got them addressed. So a lot of times, if you can catch blight like that and just remove those, that stem off the plant, it doesn't affect the rest of the plant and you're fine. The last couple of years with the blight we've been having issues with has just been relentless. We weren't able to keep it. I mean, it was basically just destroying our plants. We hardly got any harvest off of them. It was really pretty rough. So taking that year off helped a lot. How much of that is due to growing hybrids this year instead of heirlooms, and how much of that is due to a year off maybe? I know that blight kind of lives in the soil. It's like a fungus basically, but honestly don't know. But like I said, I know God commands it to the Israelites in the Old Testament, and of course we're not held to all the Old Testament law because Christ fulfilled that law for us, so we're free from that. But that doesn't mean that there's not wisdom in that and that we shouldn't follow some of that stuff, and that good things don't happen when we do. Because I mean, I don't know, is it because I took a year off? Maybe. Either way, I'm not going to complain. I'm going to praise God for the harvest I got, because like I said, everything's going great. Everything's doing great right now. And I haven't had to do anything. It's been the easiest garden I've ever done. So anyway, that's a garden update for you. I got a harvest here. I got probably enough for maybe 2 jars of green beans if I were to can them up. I don't know if I'll can them or just cook them for dinner maybe. And maybe 2 jars of pickled cucumbers, and probably a jar of pickled jalapenos. And then zucchini. And got to figure out what I'm going to do with this one. Don't know yet. We'll find out. I will tell you my favorite way to eat zucchini, summer squash: slice it up real thin, saute it in whatever your favorite fat is, whether that be butter, bacon grease, beef fat, whatever. Just your favorite, olive oil, whatever. Saute it down so it gets pretty soft with some onions in there. Those get down pretty soft, and when they're nice and soft and sauteed through, throw some sea salt on there, pretty decent amount of sea salt, and a bunch of fresh dill. Just chop up that fresh dill, throw that on there, stir it in real good. It's one of the best things ever. It's so good. My wife doesn't care for it much because she doesn't like dill that much. I love dill, and that's one of my favorite things. I mean, it's so savory, so it's just delicious. It's fantastic. Try that sometime with your summer squash and zucchini. And we're getting to a point where I'm gonna have to start giving some of it away because our squash plants are booming. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. As always, God bless.